Hello, everyone. My name is Tak Kawatani. I'm a cross-cultural management consultant, helping people lead and manage across cultures. And I've worked in 20 countries, as I always say. I think I don't need to repeat the same thing. Today, we're joined by a friend from Boston, USA, Keiko-san, Keiko Schlabach. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Tak Sensei.
Yes.
Excited to be here.
Okay, good to have you. Keiko is a business coach, helping Japanese startup people in Japan to enter the US market. So they have to do a lot of pitches, and they feel naturally very nervous. So she's teaching not only the English presentations, strategies and skills, but how to mingle with American community. Am I right?
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay, so today is a kind of a continuation from the previous one. Previous session, we talked about the law of form, family, occupation, recreation, and then comes business message, request or instruction. Today is get to know your colleagues as individuals. Get to know your colleagues as individuals. And again, I'm quoting from my book, Winning Together at Japanese Companies. And then this session today is also for non-Japanese people like you. Inviting Japanese expatriates in your country, like America, or Germany, or Singapore, Indonesia. A bunch of Japanese engineers come, expatriates come with families, or just by themselves. So they are naturally feel nervous in a foreign country. So and coupled with the language problems, so they tend to mingle together with the Japanese, different mingling of the same species. At where? Not at the church, not at the, mosque, religion different, but at the Japan club. They meet the Japanese, eat the Japanese food, and vent their frustration about American people, for example, American culture in the Japan club. That's necessary, by the way, as you know, if you were before expatriate in a foreign country, you know what I'm talking about. It's important to mingle with your same species, but it's also important for them to venture out into local community, all right? So let's talk about how we can help Japanese people get to know your community and you people comfortably. Is that okay, Keiko-san? That's our focus today.
That sounds great.
Okay. さて今日は相手を人として知る、相手を同僚とか部下とか上司だけではなくて、一個人として知る。Get to know your colleagues as individuals. Some expatriates may bring stereotypes from Japan to your country. Yeah. Please help them to learn local cultural values so they can enjoy living in your community comfortably. Here are our secret recipes for you to open the eyes to a new world. 不倫者の中には日本から固定観念をあなたの国に持ってくる人もいるかもしれません。そうですよね。彼らがあなたのコミュニティでの暮らしを楽しむことができるように地元文化の価値観に触れる手助けをしましょうねと。彼らの目を新しい世界に開かせるとっておきの方法をどうぞと。こうなってるわけですね。And have you observed some Japanese families or business people or feeling uncomfortable in American culture? Feeling lonely
totally.
or isolated, sort of?
Totally. Right now, I'm in Cambridge. So, there's Harvard, there's MIT, a lot of, universities, hospitals, a lot of big Japanese companies. So there are many researchers who are here only for a few years, right? They tell me their concerns and, how they want to mingle with the local people, but they don't have the resources or the connections, and they feel frustrated.
I see. First of all, invite them to your home, eat with them, let your children play with their children, Japanese expat children, and let your spouse talk with his or her spouse. From my experience of living in Malaysia for nearly 17 years as foreigner, I always believed that one of the best way is to get to know how local people are living their daily life, how their wives or husbands' favorite topic of conversation in the living room or bedroom are. Why I think it's the best way? Because topics of those conversations are not so different from country to country. You know, wives, if a husband is a main breadwinner, or often complain about small salary, I want more money, you know, and if they live with senior grandparents, the common topic is the health issue. Or if they have children, the common topic for both husband and a wife would be the grading of their classes of their children, how they are doing at school, you know, not being bullied or having good friends and so on and so forth. Prices of the, the food items we buy from a grocery. So the topics are not so different. Once the Japanese get to know them with their eyes, then they feel very comfortable. So that's from my experience as well. What do you think, Keiko-san, about this invitation to their home?
I think it's great. I think it's something that Japanese people are looking for. You know, they don't know what to do, and they can't really invite themselves over to, you know, your house. You know, you have to be the one to invite them. So, you know, they might be looking for an invitation like that. You know, I have talked to a few Japanese people who have been invited to like house parties, and they were very excited. They were nervous, and they didn't know like what to bring, you know, as a gift. You know, should they bring anything, or you know, what should they bring? But they were also excited about, you know, like being invited to their house, and you know, because that shows you that, you know, they care about you, and you're more than just a colleague that you see at work.
But there was a man, young man, like in late 20s, a Japanese expat, 20-year-old in Silicon Valley office, where I often visited for training. And I did a 360-degree self-assessment, how they're doing communicating at work in American office. And he wrote about himself in his self-assessment. I have no problem communicating with Americans. Since it's a 360, one of his managers wrote about him. He is isolated in my team. We cannot help him. You know, he says, I have no communication problem with Americans, but his manager, American manager, of course, said, he's isolated in my team. We cannot help him. I was so shocked about this disparity, difference of views. What I want to share with non-Japanese listeners, if you find some Japanese expat looking like no friend in the office, sipping coffee alone all the time, please do, even if they refuse, do bring them over to your, you know, events, barbecues. Yeah. Otherwise, they go neurotic walking in foreign country. Keiko-san, have you any reactions to that?
Oh, totally. I don't think they will refuse though, you know, I think they're waiting for it. And, you know, that's a great point. You know, sometimes group setting might be a little bit scary, you know, if you are not confident with their English skills, especially. So they will feel more comfortable if you invite them to like one-on-one lunch, you know, coffee, you know, just to have a little chat. You know, that way you can get to know each other, and they'll feel more comfortable speaking up if it's just, you know, one-on-one.
One of the biggest motivation of a human being is you are noticed by someone. That's the biggest motivation, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it gets in your way, the psychological barriers.
Okay, so today's session was get to know your colleagues as individuals, right? Even if you find a Japanese person looking fine, he may not be fine at heart. So just talk to them one-on-one, invite for tea or coffee, or invite a expatriate family to your house for barbecue or play date on parks and so on. Then they feel very comfortable. Get to know you as individuals.
I really enjoyed talking to you, Tak-sensei. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everyone. And we would like to continue as often as possible, quoting from my book, Winning Together at Japanese Companies. If you go to Winning Together at Japanese Companies.jp or something, you just type my book name, then you can download many pages free of this book, Winning Together at Japanese Companies. See you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Invite Japanese to your home, okay? Thank you.